Okay, today is January 2025. You Wednesday. I was on the charts Monday morning, and yesterday I wasn't. And this morning again I wasn't. But I got all the things in my life cleared up, and from now on I should be here every morning, God willing. Live stream and a market review in the. So this is the monthly chart. You can see August, big range. We didn't take out the lows. September, come back, consequent encroachment. This is the monthly chart, by the way. Come up, make an order block, down close candle here. Then just hit, and then we hit this consequent encroachment, went down, and now we're back in the middle of the range. So bear with me here, but you see we hit this monthly low, consequent encroachment. But you see here, we have low, 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 fair value gap, and relative equal lows here. So I'm not quite sure if we're done being bearish, but we also could be, because although it's been up, it hasn't been that clean. See these weeks right here, it hasn't been that clean. We do have a weekly SMT here, but that's about it. No monthly, 3-month. This is why well, the reaction. See, when we went into here, the reaction was from 21,900 to 2,700, so it's about 1,200 points range from a 3-month level. So we almost touched it. Oh, we did. I don't know. I don't have the 3-month there. Let me put that on there. See where it lies. Very crazy. Okay. So if we reorient ourselves here, we just hit the consequent encroachment. If we can get back above the consequent encroachment, we're for sure bullish. But that's going to be pretty tough. And given that we're in kind of the middle of the monthly range, we have to be wary for that. And on the daily, I'll explain on the lines. So these black lines are either weekly or monthly consequent encroachments. So these two are weekly consequent encroachments, which we hit, but look where the bodies stay. Consequent encroachment here, comes down. Okay. Okay. So where does it want to go, you might ask? You don't need this. Okay. And then, so this range right here is the regular trading hours gap. This one that was unfilled. And if we just step back and look at it from a regular trading hour standpoint, what does it look like? It looks pretty messy, but it looks like we have relative equal lows here. Okay. Looks like we came to the half right here. Kept going. I see that pretty nicely. The only thing that's unfilled daily gap so far is from here to here. I should probably put that in the form of a gap. Here to here. That is beautiful. Um, whatever. No, I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like the extend right. Um, but downside, it looks pretty nice. We have that unfilled and this unfilled. Um, yes, same thing. We got this unfilled right here. So, I'd like to see if ES wants to come here. It's only 80 points, so it could definitely do that tomorrow. A retracement would not be too shabby, and it was a large range day. In my book, that counts as a large range day. Obviously this is literally double, but it's a pretty large range day. Especially, well, yeah, so we still have this much opening range gap to take care of. So this, I'm gonna just take off the extend. All right. Cause I don't like it. Okay. Just give me a sec. Excuse me. I'm just gonna take it off, and I'll just come back to it later. Oh, remember to include the bodies. Yeah, it's from the open. I don't know why for a second I almost thought it wasn't. I'll do this. You know what? Let me just debrief uh the past couple of days, and I'll go into the future. Okay, let me go from Mondays to Friday. We had excuse me. From Friday we had this is Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. Let's see. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then tomorrow, 8:30 news. So Monday there's no news. And it was after a large range day. Fairly large range day. But it was after the weekend. Yeah, I remember Monday now. So our weekly target, monthly target, since we were all the way here, we did take out a couple lows. And now we're trying to see, okay, Monday, where do we stand? Are we close to the new week opening gap? Is there a potential trade that leads us to the new week opening gap? Are we further? What targets do we have? And we had this low, this line right here. We had this fair value gap and these lows. So on the 4-hour, this is us Monday. And you can see by 2 a.m. we've already dropped, 300 handles, which is, it's been happening a lot lately. That we're moving a lot at night and stuff like that. So on the 15-minute, by 9:30, we have already moved from, I think the opening gap was, let's see. So this is the opening gap, regular trading hours gap from Monday. Um, doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. So Monday comes, 9:30 open right here. We have lows here, highs here. Any SMT? Yes, SMT here at 8:30, which brings us lower 9:15, 9:30. I thought for sure we were just going to drop down because I saw lows here, and lows here. So I'll get back to this box later. Okay, let's get into it on the 1 minute, shall we? This is a 15-minute, and we have highs, highs, highs. Pretty nice highs, highs, highs. With what is that? I believe it was a 4-hour. Yeah, right there. But for NQ, we are way lower. So let's go on the 1 minute, shall we? Okay. So this is our 1 minute gap. I remember watching this live actually. Okay. As far as any gap goes, it's never acceptable for me, in my opinion, at least for me. You enter here, you gotta put your stop at least here, or this candlestick right here if there's a fair value gap, or above the consequent encroachment. If you get in here, you can put it above this candlestick's high. If you get in here, put it above this candlestick's high. Anyways, so 9:30 comes, we have this SMT right here, in which we drop. 9:30 comes, we take out this low, and take out all of these relatively equal lows, but leave this one intact. Make an SMT right here. So if you're short from, say, SMT, you can be short on the SMT divergence. You can be short here, it touches the bottom of the fair value gap. Here, you can be short here. We have, it's not another SMT, but then it goes all the way down here. Okay, say you are short here, it comes, it closes above, okay, order block here, and, you see those lows. So you're short 730, below this low, About 25 points. If it takes this low, I'm putting my stop at break even, or at least here or here. Anyway, say you were even stopped out. Wait for it. Then we have another SMT right here. But what? It comes back down. Bodies don't even come here. And we have a slight 1 minute SMT. This candle goes down, but this one doesn't. Then this one's low, but this one is higher. And then it goes higher. Above these, relative equal highs into the 15-minute CB. Then it breaks down once more. Come back in here. Use that consequent encroachment of the wick, fair value gap. And it's a good short. Comes back down. ES to the tick here. Come back a little lower. Again, we have now 3 relative equal lows here. But what? Shows itself it doesn't want to go. Here's a signature that I love personally. Institutional order flow entry drill. I'm going to take this off and this off because I'm not using them. Institutional order flow entry drill. Goes down but doesn't come into the fair value gap. Goes down but comes into fair value gap. My favorite SMT right there. Goes higher above this high. Oh yeah. One thing I forgot to mention is, so here, say you're in here, you get in there, or say you get in, wonder if the 50-second chart is still valid here. Beautiful. Ah, not beautiful. Why isn't it pop up? Oh, I did it on the ES only. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, so this was the entry here on a NASDAQ. If you didn't get in here, okay, you see, okay, it closes above this wick. So this is really not a good short for me. It's not a good position. Yes, you did have the SMT, and then you had this candle, but you don't want to see it consolidate above it. You want to see it consolidate, go through it and then stay there, lower, touch it again, and leave. You don't want to be shorting when it's above it. Yeah, unless you really know what you're doing. So you have this right here, consequent encroachment. If you're scared to get in here or in there, you can wait for this candle to close above it. Then this candle come to the middle, closes there, and it gives you it one more time. 765 you're getting in. I remember this now. I was watching this live. And then you're getting out where? Above these highs. But more safely, when ES hits this over here on this candle, this is the 50% of RTH. And, 765 to 830 on the close, or to 840. So probably somewhere here it hit 830. That's, 65 points right there. Absolutely beautiful. So ES hits that, and then NQ takes out these highs. And then since you see, I guess this is it's tipping its hand. Because we didn't break this low or this high, we're in a range here. Then we're in a range here. We come back down. Don't quite get there. Then we have another great setup forming at 12. And what happens? Gosh. What happens is, okay, this, if you're looking to go short, this is a frustrating day because you have this, then this, then this. Then at 12, it comes here. Do we have any SMT? No SMT here. Okay, yeah, so we come down. Good short there. Come down. And then at 11:40, we have another SMT right there to go into here, which is where? To 50% of this range. Then we do that. Once we close below there, you can sell that. Comes down where? Below a low here, but leaves us low here. Now, as soon as there been a short that formed, you know, if it does this, say you're low, yes, you want it to go here, but first of all, if you didn't get short in all of this, you know, it's 100 points. Don't expect it to just touch and leave. Expect for an order block to form. It, you know, it hasn't happened in 10 minutes. Also, this is macro, so it's repricing, taking liquidity, tipping its hand with an SMT, then it's shooting up quickly. We have another SMT with the fair value gap. 1206 candle goes in, but this 1206 candle doesn't. As soon as you see that and it closes like that, you can be a buyer right there on a 1207 candle, and it goes higher. You don't really expect it to take out this high, but it could. What's above 50% here? It showed us unwillingness to go here. So it goes to 50% finally at 1. And then because we hit 50%, what's likely to happen? We're kind of done for the day, right? You don't really expect much. 350, yes, it actually runs quite a bit. Another 100 points, which is kind of crazy. Which, wow, is it kind of a tipping its hand to you as well. Anyways, so we have 2 o'clock taking out these relative equal lows. Well, yes, keeps it intact. Okay, order block here comes back into it. Breaker here comes back into it. You can be a buyer. 223. Supporting it, the gap right there. Beautiful. So what else do we have? We have this gap here, so you can see the bottom there. You know, you can be short once it closes below there on an 1151 candle. That's perfect. Boom. Order block there. Take out low, take out high again. Kind of consolidate, and then guess the last 10 minutes it kind of goes a lot, and then it gaps higher, comes into Friday's new 9:30 opening gap at night, drops back lower. Okay, let me get the regular trading hours for this one now. I don't think it was not that big. I think it was hit in the first like 20 minutes. Okay. So let's go over it on a 15-minute and 1-minute. Okay. So let's see, what do you see? So somehow, you know, it was kind of consolidating, taking out highs, staying in this range. But then at 3:30 macro, or 3:15 and 3:45, whatever. And to the end, it just spools higher. So, you know, it could have closed down here. If we were bearish, keep in mind, if we were bearish, why would it close like that? That's something you can keep in mind. It doesn't mean that just because it closed like that, it's going to go higher, you know? It could definitely be a good factor. I'm going to take this off because I don't like it. Let's see this here though. For the next day. In this. Okay. So then Tuesday we have 8:30 news. So can't really do anything if there's 8:30 news. You know, if it goes higher or not. But then what is it saying? You have to see the bodies. You know, 4 hour, you can't really see the body for. But even this, I do love the use of the daily fair value gap here and the SMT here. So look how beautiful it is. It overlaps. And so that's on the 4 hour, 1 hour. Yeah. 1 hour, okay. 15-minute. Just look how the body's closed on the 15-minute. That's important. Let's go to the 1 minute now. I just love the 1 minute. If you you don't know, if you haven't noticed. But I guess we shall go to the 15-minute. Let me show you some. Okay, it's a bit tricky. It is a bit tricky, I can't lie. Okay, so let's take a look at this SMT. This is the tipping of its hand. If anything ever is, it's this. This is going to be important as well. And as soon as you see, okay, 9:30 closed above it, yeah. But 8:30 did not. I mean, but the ES did not. 8 o'clock. Remember, how did 8 o'clock close? Close like this. Close like this. Okay, this is uh outlining this for a potential target. Okay, 8 o'clock. Look at how it closed. And I guess the lower one, 8 o'clock. Remember that. Oh, it's actually kind of the same. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Okay. So now let's go in. 5 minute. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. And then even more beautiful. I mean, oh, it's so beautiful. Okay. 1 minute. This is going to be a good one. First of all, this is insane. 154 handles. 36 here. That's crazy. Okay. Again. So when I go on the 1 minute, it's all the levels I have on my chart. You can see black, weekly, 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 blue, daily, you know, and then fair value gaps, 4 hour, this is regular trading hours gap. You got purple is new week opening gap, pink is new day opening gap. So anything that's on my chart, it's not like it's 9:30 fair value gaps that are on the 1 minute chart. But then that it's 15-minute, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly levels. I'm not just highlighting. I could have so much on my chart, but these are higher time frame, and therefore I pay more attention to these higher time frame levels because they're higher time frame, and higher time frame rules over everything. So while I am looking on the 1 minute chart, say live, what I'm also looking at is how do the bodies close on the higher time frame. Okay. Yes, the 8:30 news brought us higher, but how did this 1 hour candle close? Then what's an important level? The consequent encroachment of that wick. That's going to be a really important level on both sides for the next. Are we just going to stay in the range? You can trade a range. You can trade from this consequent encroachment to this. So we can also highlight that. I kind of like that. Okay. Okay. So therefore you should know, you look at the 1 minute with the higher time frame in chart. The 1 minute, it just shows you, a lot. it shows you everything, really fast. Okay, so 8:30 news. I mean, that's mesmerizing. That's a lot of movement. Okay, that's a lot of movement. So 8:30 initially, right off the bat, I see this SMT. I see the body's unwilling to go above this high and above this high, and they stay in here. Similarly, the bodies quickly come down, and they don't look. This is a 4-hour low. So it goes in the lower half of the 4-hour fair value gap. First of all, that's really important. Then it doesn't reach this. So you could say, yeah, I want it to reach that. But it doesn't reach that. Um, okay. So you're trying to look, okay, is it bearish or bullish? If it was bullish, it would probably, you know, so yes, this is a beautiful range. This is from this high to this low, this low to this high. So what happens is, yes, we do that. Then first reaction, we come back to 50%, and then we don't here. We fail to take out this. Let me just. We fail to take out this low. Come back in here, and look now. Okay, don't pay attention to these blue lines until here, because this is where they're forming still. But look, we come to 50% here, then we drop down again. 850 macro right here. Then we come back to the new week opening gap. And what do we have in here? New week opening gap with a new day opening gap. That's like a hot spot. And this is also going to be the 50%, which I'm just going to take it off now because 930, 931, it gets hit. So that's that. But I'll leave it on for ES. Okay. So this is all happening very quickly. You're looking at it. Okay. So 830 comes. We come into here. We're below here. Okay. We made an SMT. 930 comes. Boom. We're below here. We touch it like that. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, 930, we drop down. Then what? SMT. Okay, as soon as you see that, and it takes out this low, which is beautiful. As soon as you see that, okay, be wary. Be wary. Be wary. Because why? Look what I just took off. It made the SMT. It dropped, 50 points to go to the new day opening gap, new week opening gap, 50% range. And then we have an SMT. So you're like, okay, right now you're not even thinking of a trade because the 930 fair value gap doesn't form until this right here. And let me put it here. I don't know why I don't have it here. I think I deleted it, that's why. Wow. Oh my gosh, like it's literally only gets more and more beautiful as you go. Okay, so this is where it does get a little tricky. And okay, so we're only at 931 right now with an SMT, okay, with the possibility of continuation because how it's treated this. But at the same time, it's been to 50% of the range. It's below 50%. It just took out liquidity below 50%. It's a beautiful turtle soup because it just hit 50%. The bodies don't close above it. It just went in here. That's beautiful. And then it comes up. SMT divergence. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. Look at the bodies. Perfectly at the consequent encroachment. Breaks down. Perfectly breaks down. Okay. Now here's what can happen. There's a few things that could happen in a few trades. Obviously, you can short this. When you see when you see this body close like that after the S&T, you can be an immediate short seller right there if you believe. Okay. As soon as it closes below here, you can be a buyer or seller here. This candle, order block right there. You don't trust that, you can wait for it to close down below once more and buy this order block and these two right here. And then it goes, okay, comes back to 50%. What do we have here? Because of how it stopped here, and look, another thing, it's beautiful. We have this fair value gap here. That ES, institutional order flow entry drills, basically it doesn't go in it, while this one does. Okay. If you're not in here at any point and you want to be short, you could wait for one more thing. And that is it closes below and comes back. But you see, it doesn't touch back here. So you wouldn't have had a short. You could, if you bought in the upper range of here, then yes. But if you didn't, it's too late. Goes back below this low, fills in the new day opening gap, new week opening gap, comes back in here, comes where? Okay, and then another, it tips the hand to you always. Okay. Then it comes here. We're still in the range. This is a lower 50%, remember? Lower 50%. The bodies stay above. Look at that. The bodies stay above. Right on it. Right there. That's so beautiful. Okay. You can just completely reverse your position there. Okay. Then what? We have a range and a range. So I'm willing to bet that this 50% is very similar. Right there. Okay. And then here's what happens. Another beautiful thing. If you don't want to be a buyer there, okay. Let's say for the sake of just being on the 1 minute, the only buy you have is when it forms an order block there, comes back to 50%. You can be a buyer saying you want to see this open, but if you do buy there, you would have to put your stop below here, which is about 20 points. And then it goes up. It tags this, comes back once more to the top, breaks down again. This is where ICT had a nice trade. So then, dude, it just keeps getting better. So you see this, okay, it's unwilling to. Now, everything revolves around the 930 gap. But here you have to be wary. Why? Because we have 1 range, 2 range, and now 3 range that's failed to so now look, we have this, and this, all in close proximity. If you're not experienced, do not take that because it could consolidate from there. Okay, what happens? Comes back down, drops below, gives it to us here, drops, leaves its fair value gap open. Love to see that. Beautiful. I'm going to take this off now. takes this low, fills in this fair value gap, comes back up one more time, creates an SMT. We come into this fair value gap, but we leave it open here. It's a great addition. And then it sells off again. Where? Well, this is where the higher time frame comes in. But roughly, oh, whatever. So now we're here. 11. Where does it go? From here to here. So the weekly, honestly, let's see 4 hour real quick again. Yeah, I'm gonna take that off. And I'm gonna have this one on instead. Okay, so remember what I said. What did I say? We forgot about this right here. So now, where are we going? Okay, it's proven to us that it wants to go lower. Clearly here. So we have this in mind. 843. So at this point, okay, you enter short here. Here. Yeah, this is the last acceptable point. Goes down to this 50% of that big range to a weekly target. Comes back up. Drops down consequent encroachment. Where to? For ES, this 4 hour gap doesn't quite get there. Takes out lows. Makes a breaker, double breaker right there. And then trudges higher. Where to? Where to? Well, it's so obvious now. Is it not? What do we have? It's 12 here. And we see that big retracement. Where to? 50% of this range. And this range. Literally the same. And take this off now. As well as this. And 50% of this range. Okay, but more importantly, let me show you. So, reversal. Another, just, if this is all you buy, you will be rich. Oh my gosh. So how do you know it's going to go up? Okay, it makes an SMT, closes above, it's above 50%. Okay, if you want to wait for it to close, for ES to close above here. New week opening gap, comes down, tags it, boom, that's your buy. You're in. Where to? 50%'s first stop, 50%'s first stop. That lower half, remember that lower portion of the 1 hour wick there. Ultimately to new day opening gap, new week opening gap. What did I say? I said price tends, when that happens, look how many times it's been there. 1, 2, look how many times since it's been there. It's revisited so many times. So it does that. And I mean, only Enigma can trade this at that point. I mean, this is just wild. It does that and then just, it says goodbye. It just says goodbye. It doesn't wait for anyone. And it, 280 handles. Takes out this low. And then you have your second tip. Okay, it takes out this low. And then, again, into the last 10 minutes, it just pumps. I mean, absolutely. 340. You're all the way down here. 3:40 p.m. on Tuesday. You're all the way at 8, well, yeah, 3:40 on Tuesday. Yeah, literally 340 on Tuesday. You're at 800. You're below the consequent encroachment. Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna go below the consequent encroachment, and we're gonna be here tomorrow. But that's not what happens. Look at how the 4-hour body stopped. We have a 4-hour SMT. Then it just somehow, shoots up in the last hour. So then we have this SMT. Okay, consolidation there. I'm gonna take these two off. Oh, what is that? Okay. And then there's really nothing you can do after this, honestly. Like, okay. And then very, very eventful day. Consolidates overnight. It's like I'm done. You know, comes back here 7, 8 a.m., 6, 7 a.m. prior to the news. And then 8:30 news takes out these lows, makes an SMT. Boom. Where to? First stop, most importantly, to this big, unfilled at all, virgin regular trading hours gap. And it goes there. Okay. Goes there. Look at the bodies now. That's pretty bullish. Pretty bullish, but this was bearish too. So, know where it's going. Okay. And this day was, just as phenomenal. Okay. So, here's what happens. All right. Bounce it like Viagra. 8 o'clock. 9 hours. We come down to the low. Close it higher. Okay, what targets do we have other than this? I don't know why it's not showing up on yes. I think I deleted it. Okay, so what is gonna help you on a day like this after it drops up? This gap, this big gap. Okay, what else? Just name everything impossible. Upside. High right here, high right here, high right here, fair value gap. Relative equal highs with the fair value gap. Yes, high right here, high right here, high right here, fair value gap. And then a ooh, that is crucial. Oh wow. Big 50% with the new week opening gap right above there. That's very, very, yes, very powerful. Like a big magnet. Okay. So then what happens? Then what happens? So that's the 1 hour, 15 minute. Oh, what the? No. Okay, making sure. But here's what you want. Okay. What are the bodies showing you? Does it want to go lower? What's this? Might ask. I need to ask myself that too. Okay, it's this 50%. Let me think a second. There's something I wanted to highlight, I remember. Yeah, I think it was this. This is important too. 15-minute. Let's go in the beginning of the day, shall we? Start off with the 1 minute then. Okay. What the freak does want to do? It's like, oh my gosh, where do you in? So this is where you can begin. Okay. Where did it arrive? Here. Taking out highs, going into constant encroachments, the middle, the new day opening gap here. What's right above this high? New week opening gap with 50%. Okay. It moved a lot. What can you outline? 50% here. And the regular trading hours gap, with which I'm not even gonna get into, honestly, because you can see it doesn't go there. 9:30 comes. And this is gap actually, where it does not come down there at all. And it does visit us a little bit. Okay. 9:30 comes. Where could it possibly go to? Low end here, 50% here. If it doesn't want to go there, the smallest, okay, bear flag, bull flag, worked this time. Good job. Anyways, here's a goodbye. Quickly, you can see it's like, hell nah, I'm not going lower. It's possible too that, sometimes you see it go lower, then, false Judas swing, then another false Judas swing, the real move. So you have this high here, new week opening gap, new day opening gap, high of this, and liquidity. You have the high here, new week opening gap, 50% here. Okay. We make this here, and this. We have, once you see that happening, and then you have this 50% too. Okay, if you're too scared to get in here, the only other option I'll allow is if it closes above here and gives you it here or here. Now have your stop where? Below this low. Then, say you get in at 9.6, 28, that's 30 points. To the middle here, 37, that's 40. Say you get in at 7.5 here, 28, that's 50 points, 60, almost 100 points here. 70 points. Comes back down, showed us nothing bearish yet, and 10 o'clock closes pretty nicely, and it closes above this gap too. Comes here, rests a little bit, comes back where? Called optimal trade entry. 15-minute will show you this a little better. Comes back down to the middle here. In between these two is a hot spot. Fair value gap comes back down. This wick right here, 4 hour. They're just messing with us at this point. Order blocks. So that's what you want to see. After this, it's exactly, you have to anticipate every time. Big order blocks to form too. That's what happens. You immediately recapitalize right there. That is a like it's it's like art. Then comes back to terminus here, here, drops back down. Now we're where we at right now. The new day opening gap right there. Okay, so I'm gonna need a little bit to kind of just rewind, relax, and see where I'm going next. Okay, this 50%, I guess I'll keep it. We don't really have much except this. New day opening gap, new day opening gap, 50%. Two critical points here. Same with here. We don't have much except for new day opening gap, 50% here. New week opening gap, inversion fair value gap for yes, but not inversion for NQ. And then these two here. So we do have the new week opening gap here and 4-hour gap here, 4-hour gap here, and we're in it here. Also an SMT. So we could see some potential reversals, but you have to take into account the weekly. Okay, as long as we're above these on a closing basis for the weekly, pretty bullish. Pretty bullish. Monthly, you have to remember the monthly range. And that's what we have. That's beautiful. I love that. Um, take that off. Okay. Now you can see this. Looks like it wants to go higher, you know? But we have to be wary because it's Thursday and anything can happen. We can come back down and close below here. So if that's what looks like it's going to happen, tomorrow what I want to see if you're bullish is to stay up here. Don't even come down, right? You want to see a nice day above, you don't want C price come all the way down here. Definitely not come, you don't want to see it come below 2300 at all. You don't want to see it preferably go around below this level. You don't want to see it go below down here or below here. You definitely don't want to see that. So I want to see price stay high. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty simple. We'll see what the morning brings up. I feel like, I have I have pretty much every level I need on my chart. Weekly, I guess you can say this CE plus, let's just do order block. Guess you can say that's an order block. And that is a new day, a new week opening gap as well. An order block plus new week opening gap, beautiful. Let's go to Friday, December 20th on the 4-hour. Okay, yeah, so it is accurate. That's nice. So, added a few things. Daily. Yeah, 4-hour, you have this obviously. I guess this is a breaker. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You have this little fair value gap. But we'll see what 8:30 brings. Honestly, it could go both ways. But I'll just see what hand is showing tomorrow morning, either side. So that's it for today. See you in the next one.